You know the famous saying, if a guy picks on you, it's because he likes you? It is my moment to shine. Never really gotten bullied by a girl, but I have gotten bullied by a guy, and like, I just can't forget about it, especially because he lives in my profile views. Wait, no, I actually did get bullied by a girl, and it was in the 2nd grade for not having boobs. I'll never forget you. If you see me now, you're gonna be real mad. In elementary school, this guy would be in all of my classes and on my school bus. That was the worst part. And he would not leave me alone every single day. There were days where he would literally make me cry. I was like, what, 11 years old? Every day he would throw shit in my hair, especially on the school bus. Like, he would throw paper balls at me. I have an older sister, and she would wait for me to get off the bus every single day, and it would get to me so bad, like the stuff that he would do and like the shit he would throw at me. So I told my older sister about it, and right before I got off the bus, she went on the bus and she asked to speak to him. I don't really remember what happened. I think she was just like, hey, stop bugging my little sister. As an older sister should. Props to you, Groot. Her name isn't Groot, it's Gerta, but we call her Groot. She's also getting married this month. Make sure you comment a big congratulations to her. And make sure you say Groot, she's gonna hate it. But anyway, this guy would always make fun of me, especially about my hair. Like, what? And it's funny because he's receding. You probably shouldn't have talked shit. He always called me ugly, and never in my life have I ever identified as such. So I just knew he was hitting on me. I didn't know it then, but I know it now. I don't want you guys to get me wrong. I would always throw stuff back at him and always say stuff to him. The worst part is I went to school with this guy from elementary school all the way until we graduated high school. Oh my God, and sometimes he would make his ugly friends join in on his bullying. I know exactly where his little friends are now in life, and all I gotta say is karma got its kiss from me. You guys are so sweet for asking. He eventually did stop bullying me, but it turned into something else. Dude was trying to smash weekly in high school. I randomly got like a Snapchat or a text from him one day, and he was like, hey, you want to hook up? I even have gotten unexpected friendly pictures from him that were not that friendly. All I'm saying is if little you knew what little you look like today, he wouldn't be talking shit. Dude was a complete freaking loser. Okay, you traumatized me as a kid. I would cry all the time just for me to grow up, and you'd be like, hey, you wanna have a play date? Dude had the audacity to tell me, you know, I've always had a crush on you. I thought you said I was ugly. I thought you said that. The craziest part was that high school was years and years ago. I am 23 years old. High school was like a fever dream. And this man is still in my views. He's one of like the first people to see my Instagram stories, my Snapchat story. But I thought you said I was ugly.
This is why I will never go to the gym late at night by myself anymore. I usually never go to the gym at this time, but it was just a long day and I had to, get a workout in real quick. So I went really late. It was about like midnight when I went, and when I left, it was like 1:30 in the morning. You park in a parking structure at my gym. So as I was leaving, I went into the parking structure, and I'm like walking to my car. There wasn't a lot of cars in there, but it was like my car, an empty parking spot, and then another car, which I noticed like someone was in there. As I'm getting closer to my car, the man that was in that car is getting out, and it looks like he's in his workout clothes, so like he's gonna go to the gym, I assume. And I'm getting closer to my car, and he's coming down because we're kind of at a slope, so we kind of like run paths, and he stops me and just kind of starts making small talk. But I'm like still walking towards my car a little bit while he's like kind of talking to me. So we're like kind of behind my car now. And talking about the gym, and he started telling me about his messy divorce that he was going through. And then at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, like I don't really want to entertain this anymore. Like I kind of want to go home. I was like, I love a good cheese man, but like I don't know, like I was getting weird vibes. So I just kind of ended the conversation. I was like, well, it was great to meet you. Like have a good workout. Like I'm gonna go now. And he was like, no, let's keep talking. I was like, oh. And I said, it's like really late. Like maybe I'll just kind of see you around the gym. Wasn't trying to let me go. And I was just like, okay, like this is kind of getting a little bit creepy. Like this is kind of getting weird. So I start like inching towards my door. And at this point, it was like we're behind my car. I'm on the side that's closest to my driver's side, and he's like on the other side where my passenger like side would be. So we're like this. And then my car. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Or inching towards my driver's side, the driver's side of the car, and then I unlock it. He walks to my passenger side door and opens it and gets in. It literally got in my car. I was shook. The seat is always pulled up to the very front because I just like throw my things on the passenger seat. He was literally adjusting the seat and getting comfortable. I was like, there's literally no way like this 30-year-old man is sitting in my car just like that. So I quickly open my car door, and I'm like, what are you doing in my car? Why are you sitting in my car right now? And he's like, oh, I just thought like we could sit in here and talk for a little bit or go get some food. Huh? No, like you need to get out of the car like right now, actually. Like we're not going anywhere, we're not talking at all. Like I'm serious, like you really need to get out.
I'm still in shock about what just happened to me right now. I was at a job interview, and when I was done with the job interview, I was driving back home. And as I'm driving back home, I'm driving through this street that's like, it's pretty well known to have a lot of homeless people. So there's a lot of tents and stuff like that. So I'm driving, and then I see this man literally just laying on the ground. He's literally passed out. He had crutches, but the crutches were next to him. So when I drove by, I saw that he was just there, and there were people walking, there were businesses right in front who clearly saw that he was on the floor. I immediately called 911. I thought to myself, well, somebody must have called already. Somebody must have, because he's right there. Anybody, all these cars for sure saw him. Somebody must have. You guys, nobody called. Absolutely no one called. I called them, and when they were on their way, I parked my car, and then I went up to him to see if he was okay. This poor man told me that one of his foot, which was swollen, he couldn't even move it. He had no way of like walking, basically. He said he was on the floor for an hour, and he's just been waiting for somebody to call 911. And I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm in California, so right now it's almost 90 degrees. He was just laying on the concrete facing the sun for an hour. When I went up to him, I kind of like stood in front of him so he had shade, because his face was just facing the sun. So we waited for the ambulance to come, and he started telling me how he's so grateful that I called, and that he just needed somebody to call so they can come get him and help him. He mentioned how he hadn't had any water in like 12 hours. He said that they kicked him out of the current hospital that he was at. He wasn't all there, but nobody was willing to help him. And that shit broke my heart, because it's like, once the ambulance came, all the people from their businesses and stuff, they started to come out. And I looked at them and I'm like, all of you saw this man for an hour laying in front of your business, and not one of you decided to call 911. You could literally see the shame in their faces. Once, he was getting helped and I made eye contact with them, you could tell, like, they felt shame. As they should. Even if he was homeless, even if... It doesn't matter, actually, there's no excuse. You see another human being laying on the floor struggling. What makes you think that it's okay to just walk over them and, like, they're nothing? People nowadays, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Why are we so used to seeing somebody struggle and seeing them literally on the ground, and it's so normalized to just walk over them? Like, literally step over them and go about your day. I can't believe it.